platform you're listening to right now, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, SoundCloud, or Mixcloud. Leave a comment and rep your homeland.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to thank everyone for being patient. We are glad you're here, happy to be here, glad you're there. And welcome to the LGIHL draft here on LeagueGaming.com. I am your host, as always, the irreverent, amazingly sounding, ever so boisterous F.I. Penguin. And I think if I do this right, if I say the right words, basically, if you wish it 3 times, it comes true. We have also joining me on the show tonight, NugeTV. Nuge, you there? Oh, sad day. I thought I had it. Let's try to bring him in 1 second here. Let me bring that down. You can't hear me on Skype. Well, that that makes sense. You can't? You should be able to. I don't have myself muted. Let me call Nuge back. Nuge says he can't hear me. I don't know that to be any sort of trueness, so we will see how that goes. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Definitely appreciate you staying home and doing nothing on a Saturday. If you have nothing better to do, fantastic. Glad you're here. Tris is here, so he doesn't get fined. We appreciate that as well, the irreverent boss here of the show. And hopefully I will be able to get Nuge. I have Nuge here. He says he can't hear me, but everybody can. So I don't know what that means. I just know that it means Nuge needs to fix his mic or something. I don't know. It means something. But in the meantime, how's everything sound? I need to know that because I don't know if everything's sounding right in the first place. That's kind of important. I hear Nuge. I hear Nuge typing. But I don't hear his voice. Now I need to add somebody else to this call as well. We had Rushpac drop out. So what happened was his newborn, I think, is sick. So unfortunately, he will not be joining us. However, I am adding someone else to the call who will be joining us, and we will be good to go. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hi.
You are there. All right, so good. See, this is proof now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So it's Nuge's fault. We have Leafy on the show as well tonight, and she is filling in for Rushpac. And while she has not been to the Olympics, she has seen more hardware in LG than Rushpac, so it works out. How are you, Leafy?
Good, thanks.
It's been a long time. The last time we spoke on a show, officially at least, was I think it was for the All-Star Games for season 18, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a long time. So I am excited to work back with you. This is going to be exciting. We encourage you guys to use hashtag LGIHL on Twitter. If you don't have us followed on Twitter yet, please do so. And what do you know so far about this draft? I know that the owners, to me, feels like it's going to be a little bit of a litmus test for some of these guys to see if they can hold true in the LGHL. But what's your take so far on the selection of who's going to be making these picks tonight?
I feel like there are some good owners there and some ones that maybe people could be questioning their judgment beforehand, but you never really know how people are going to do in the draft, so should be exciting.
It should be exciting. I want to definitely thank Mashley for kind of getting all this together. He had an idea to put a show together that had the amazing cast, so to speak. And I appreciate you for also offering your hat into this thing. He had an idea to make this reality, and it wouldn't be possible without the help of everybody here. So it's super good. Nuge is still having problems. I don't really know what's going on. He says he can hear us. He can't hear us, but we're making noise. So I'm going to tell him to go to Tools and then Audio Settings and check there. In the meantime, I found to me, I find it interesting because some of these people, and I'm not going to mention names until I see the picks because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and then look dumb. Some of these people, it's going to be an interesting test. I think Brody. I feel like Brody did it on purpose. I don't know. I don't know how much he had say in selection here, but just to see if some of these people can run a team will be definitely interesting. And I don't know if some of these people will have some success. That's going to be the challenge. And if they can, and if they do well, then I think I think there will be some new owners. I know we have, 7 of the 8 owners currently in the playoffs are going to be leaving, which says a lot to the league and a lot to Burnout, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know who's actually leaving. I know Bryson is kind of on the fence, and I don't know about anybody else. So I think pretty much we're cleaning house and trying again, which is a little bit concerning, but can also open up fresh faces, and we saw that 2 seasons ago. At this time, though, I definitely want to see if we are good here. I want to bring in the man who doesn't pay a dime, ladies and gentlemen. Not one dime. NugeTV, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
There you
Hopefully
are.
It's functional, and I can hear you guys, which is great.
Hey, we can hear you too, which is amazing. If you can turn your mic level up, that would be awesome.
A little bit. All
Yeah,
right.
just give it some boost because Leafy sounds better than you right now. Well, she's always going to sound better than you, but
Well,
it
yeah.
sounds,
True.
How
yeah,
about now?
that's good.
right.
So, Nuge, go ahead and kind of give a breakdown here. We got 2 minutes until the draft, and what's going to happen tonight is we're kind of going to go through the draft here, pick some people. We're not going to pick people. We're going to see who gets picked. We're going to comment on that, and I'm going to kind of just drive this bus and let you guys kind of give the analytics and insight to the players more so than I do. I'm just here to drive, folks. So, Nuge, what do you think about the owner selection so far? I know we just touched upon it from Leafy and my standpoint, but I want to hear what you think.
Unfortunately, I didn't hear what you guys said. So this might be a lot of repetition, but I think there's a few owners that shouldn't be owners in any capacity. They shouldn't represent the site in any way. But there are also a lot of good owners. You have Mashley, you have D-Merch, you have guys like even Gala. He's a good dude. Maybe shouldn't be owner of a real league, but for this type of thing, for the IHL, for the off season, for this short league, is good. Zinky's also pretty good. Hobo's pretty good.
Hobo's good, definitely. As much as people want to talk trash, I think people like to talk trash about owners that know what they're doing. I think.
Yeah, for sure. Like Hobo's a guy that knows what he's doing. Maybe isn't the best owner that we have, but at the same time, like he's a pretty damn good owner in LG. He'll do great in IHL as well. Then there's guys like Dank the God, and
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to mention him, and this goes way back to the Toronto Marlies when I was playing against him in the AHL. That Dank should not be owner of a team. So I'm gonna, and many people have wrote to me and said that. So I'm just reiterating the sentiment of over a dozen people on both Twitter and my PMs that Dank should not be owner. So there we are. I've said my piece.
yeah, I echo that statement. He should not be owner. He should not be GM. He should not represent our website in any way. But I guess he got it, and we'll see how he does with it today.
So how do you think he's gonna do? I want to know.
I mean, drafting isn't all that hard. Whether the people will actually play for him, I'm not sure.
I think you're right. And I got to cut you off here because we actually just had our first pick. People actually are picking on time. And Russia, the motherland, has brought down some shutdown defense, a.k.a. shutdown D, over to draft pick number 1 for left D for Russia. Your thoughts, sir?
Not the best pick. The defensive options aren't great in IHL, so he's solid. He's a decent top line defenseman, but when you have the number 1 overall pick, you probably want to do a little bit better than that, in my opinion.
I would agree with you. Let me ask Leafy, if you had the first pick in the LGIHL draft, who would you take?
Man, that's a tough one. I might say that I would have taken myself.
Okay.
But that's not. I agree with Nate. It's not a bad pick. I feel like there might have been some better choices though.
I think you're right, but like Nuge said, there's not a lot of defensive choices. You know, I'm in the freaking draft, so definitely don't want to. You know, there's not a lot to say on a lot of the defense. So picking up a good defender would be a smart option, unless they just looked alphabetically. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, there's also no position lock, so anybody can play defense even if they're not signed up for it. But yeah, even still, the defensive talent might not be great.
yeah, just from the list, I would have preferred to see like a guy like Deceased Goblin or even Boney go in that spot if you're looking for a top line D-man.
Definitely. And if you're watching along in the chat box, we appreciate that. We also appreciate the comments in the League Gaming chat box as well for the YouTube page. We appreciate that. You'll see the picks actually happen about 30 seconds before you hear us talk about them, and that's simply because there's a thing called internet delay, and because of that, we are having 2 picks already happen while we're speaking, Nuge, so everyone should be watching that chat box. Finland has drafted Devin, 94 as goalie, which I kind of expected knowing Mashley and Funland making that a reality, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty expected pick. I don't know if you'll actually see Devin playing goalie. Like Leafy just said, no position lock.
That's true. Good point there. I didn't know that when I first signed up to play LGIHL. But does that speak to versatility, or does that speak to people just picking whatever position?
A little bit of both. I think because it's an off-season league, people are maybe looking to try out something new, but at the same time, you have a guy like Devin who obviously is talking to Mashley. I don't think Mash would use the number 2 pick on Devin in net. So
Right.
that's my feeling there. And yeah, I think it's a good pick. If he plays forward or defense, he's a solid player.
I think you're right. And then Leafy, your thoughts here, because your home country here. Canada selected the Great 48.
That's a good pick. He's a good player. Just good offensive talent, I guess. Wherever he's playing, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's forward. So
Yeah, I imagine he'd be up front, even if he signed up anywhere else. He got drafted
yeah,
by Canada, which is Panda. No surprise at all.
yeah.
Just that's exactly what I would have expected.
Yeah, I'm currently scrambling since we had a little bit of technical difficulties right before the show here. I'm currently bringing up the owners list so I can actually comment on some of these because I don't remember who got what team, and it's kind of hard here. I wanted to say thank you for Tris for bringing back what we had to be an amazing idea that Zach ruined for us all for 2 seasons. And I could say that because, God, that kid makes me want to make me pull my hair out. I have 5 new gray hairs because of him. This is not a joke. He put us the embed back on the main page on LG. So right underneath the chat box, you actually have the show, which is amazing. And I can't thank him enough for bringing that back. And I hope he keeps it back there for all of the things in the future. That would be really nice, I think.
Yeah, it looks good. You can see it. Like anyone that goes in the chat box, that is right in their face. They'll know it's there, which is exactly what we need with something like this.
I agree. So draft pick number 4 right through here, Czech Republic. That's run by Mac A. Picks up Bass, and I can't say I'm surprised. Anybody picking up Bass is kind of a no-brainer, especially when you don't
No,
have...
if you get Bass at number 4, you're doing really well. That's a no-brainer at that point.
It's one of those things where you're like, how did we drop Bass to 4, right?
Yeah, like D-Merch is the left wing, so I know why he probably targeted defense. He has 2 forwards already. Panda went with the no-brainer. He plays with Briere all the time. They did management together in LG and totally had a successful season, Panda. And then what was the other pick? Mashley picking Devin also makes perfect sense. So it makes sense how he slipped to number 4, but Max should be really happy to grab him there.
And I think this is a good time to mention that since it is such a short season, it's just to play 6s. You can kind of pick your friends because the season isn't. It's like an all-star game. You're just playing to play, right? So there's less incentive to bring home hardware and more incentive to just have some good games. And I think you're going to see that here with a couple of people who picked some friends as GMs or friends as their first 10 picks. And I think we'll see that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to lose out on... I don't think there are trades in this. I could be wrong, but you don't want to lose out on a chance to play with someone you're friendly with that you've like talked to before. Oh, I'm going to pick you up. And like skip on them round 1 and have them get stolen from you. So it makes perfect sense.
Definitely. I'm trying to see what I want to show. I'm sorry, Leafy, go ahead.
No, I was saying for sure. I think the point of this league is just to have some fun in the off season for those that are not in playoffs. So you want to play with people that you like.
Definitely. Like I'm saying, I want to figure out what I want to show on the stream. I know there's a banner at the bottom, and Leafy, I apologize. We didn't know you were coming on last night, and Williams made a logo for Rushpac. You were there in his honor, so that's good. But I don't know, Nuge. Should we show the draft list? Should we show the owner's page? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what we should be showing on the stream. I don't really know.
I think for the start, the draft list, we can talk about the owners as we need to, and then once rosters start filling out, because they are updating in real time, we can maybe switch over to the rosters page and look like, okay, this makes sense. They're picking up a defenseman because they only have 2 and they already have 6 forwards or something like that. But for now, I think the draft list is the smart way to go.
I love Mashley's role here. He picked the role of production, I guess, program director. So he just kind of put together an idea. But then he was like, go ahead and figure it out, guys. You got it. Just, Nuge and some people in F5 Penguin just do your voice thing. And we'll be good. Just figure it out along the way. And I was like, all right, well, that's what we'll do. And that's where we are. So I'm kind of just making this up as I go. We had some crazy storms here yesterday with tornadoes all over. It ripped up part of our fence. So we're kind of we've been picking up the pieces today. So it's been a little bit crazy of a day for me. Or
Yeah.
or a week even, because I think last week while I was in Las Vegas, there was a tornado about a mile from here. So it's been a crazy week down here in South Florida, I will say. No snow though, so that's good. I can't
Yeah, we're
complain.
dealing with snow, which is clearly much worse than damage from wind, right?
Right, totally. And
Yeah.
flooding
You have to
and missing
shovel.
fences and puppies
Yeah.
being thrown across the driveway. All these things are just not as good.
You don't have to
Uh,
shovel, so.
you don't have to shovel. Actually, I did have to shovel. I had to shovel the fence back into place. This is a true story. So shut up. Norway drafted at number 5, LOL 9. I don't know him. I should. I should know some of these players. I just don't know this guy.
Uh,
LOL 9.
he's a decent center. Again, I feel like they might have reached a little bit on him. I think there are better players available. I, in the early rounds, you're not going to pick a bad player unless you're really stupid, but I feel like they could have gotten a lot more value at number 5. What about you, Leafy?
Um, I think it's easy to look at this management team and question their decisions. However, I do think that LOL is a good forward and not a bad pick at all. But yeah, I don't know how this team's going to turn out, if I'm being honest here.
J Rules makes a good point. How is Heimbecker still on the board? Let's ask that question.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher. Right after Bass, I was thinking Heimbecker is the number 2 player in the draft. He's definitely best on the board right now.
Best on the board, absolutely hands down, bar none. Uh, so how do you think we're going to round out the top 10 here? Because we have USA making picks 10 and 11 because we're doing reverse snake order here. So what are we going to see next on the board here, Nuge?
So do you want me to tell you what USA is going to do or just what's coming up?
All the way up, and then, with USA picking 2 at the end there.
All right. Let me double
Or
check.
do whatever you want, man. You made the game. This is your game.
You're right. I did make the game.
You can do
I
whatever you
do
want.
think with the snake draft, I think you'll see Dank maybe, if he's smart, try to pick 2 guys that play together back to back. Again, I don't know who exactly he'll pick in those spots. That's what I would do if I had the ability to pick at the number 10 spot. Just you don't have the possibility of someone stealing a guy from you if you're going for chemistry. But yeah, that's what I'd do if I was Dank. I think you'll see Bardock come off the board before number 10. I think you'll see Bardock is one I would target if I was drafting. Maybe Johnny Hockey, who's Saney if people don't know him. Those are guys I would target in the next few picks.
That's a good point. And Driss makes a good point as well here. All these players are currently golfing, so you're having like the best of the worst, I suppose, is the way you can kind of word it.
Yeah.
I do want to mention that there is another ungodly talent currently in the pool, and that's, of course, Big 50. He's still not drafted, and I don't know why he didn't go number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it might depend on what position he signed up for. If he's not on forward, I don't think you can fully utilize his heart. So if he signed up for defense, maybe people are thinking he actually wants to play defense, which might hurt his value a little bit.
I think so. Now, I am surprised that how long have we been running for? I'm looking at my control room. We've been running for 22 minutes, 10 of those. So 12 minutes, and we're in pick 6. I don't really know what's happening. There's only so many teams.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that the timer's 10 minutes per pick. I think you should get maybe 2. 10 minutes is absurd.
I would agree. I don't know who decided that. Who decides these times? I know it's not me. And
I would assume Triss.
Is it? No, it can't be. It has to be a collaboration effort. And maybe because the Canadian exchange rate, 8 minutes turned into 10. I don't know how that works out.
Yeah, that must have been it. I think that might have been what happened.
It's the only reasonable explanation. But the thing we can say is we finally do have a pick here. And number 6, Sweden gets MVP sauce. And I can't say I'm surprised with some of these talent that are not in the playoffs right now, but are talented.
That talented would be one word to describe Will Wilson. He's an okay winger. I don't think. Again, the draft list isn't that deep, so I'm not surprised he went like in the first 2 rounds. I think, again, number 6 is a little early. I think Denham's a better forward than him, as much as me and Denham don't necessarily always complement each other's skills. I think Korea is a better forward and also a more important position. Who was the owner that drafted, or what team was that?
That
Finland
is
or Sweden?
Sweden.
Hobo and Hayes.
Hobo
Yep.
and Hayes. Yeah, that doesn't even really fit. Like, I don't think those guys play together either. So I'm not sold on that pick.
Are you sold on the pick of number 7, Switzerland, getting Jewel?
Yes, and I think they'll definitely be targeting Korea in the next round. So if someone maybe steals him in between, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, Jewel and Korea are both
We have an
good.
official statement from Jewel. I'd like to thank God, first of all, and my mom for helping me get here. That's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
I'm a big fan of that.
I am too. This is fantastic. Now it hasn't. Gladiator's kind of stupid in the chat box, so we'll just call out stupid when it happens. It's not been 30 minutes, and it's not only been 5 picks. So the good news there is that you don't know how to count, and that's fine. Moving on, number 8, Kazakhstan. Prime himself, old dirty Boney 69, goes with the Kazakhs.
Yeah, that's not surprising. They play club together in Pro Series. Boney is a solid defenseman. Again, I think he was better than the number 1 overall pick. Shut down D, I think. So I think it's a good choice by them. And number 9, oh boy.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet. Hang on. I'm adding Leafy's picture, courtesy of Williams, to the stream just for you, Leafy.
Wow,
Williams
thank
made a picture for you. Number 9, Germany gets Korea. So J Rule's pick of Jewel and then Korea weren't back to back, but were pretty close.
Well, they didn't get both.
They didn't. No, right, but they were. I think he picked that.
Oh,
was
he
gonna be
said
the
they were
next
going to go
two.
back to back.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. But I think Switzerland wanted to get Jewel and Korea back to back, and Fritcha and Bnots swooped in, got Korea. Solid center, good pick. Not playing with Jewel though, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, that would have been the smart thing to do, is to try and get both of them. Obviously, wouldn't have been too easy, but
Yeah.
And then, of course, number 10, America themselves, Stiffmeister. Thank the God picking Stiffmeister. And then, wait a minute here. Hang on. I'm looking at my list here. And got A1 Freak. 10
One
and
good
11.
pick.
A1? Yeah, I agree.
I think Stiffmeister is the good pick here. He's really talented. He can score points. He doesn't need a great supporting cast to score points. And then A1 Freak is okay. I think there's better options, though. Like, I would have maybe thought 3rd round for him, maybe. I think guys like Taze, even I pooped it. He's pretty good. Proxy's still there.
Say the name. When you say that name, it's just the best thing ever.
McNasty's still there. I think he's a little bit better than A1 Freak. There's a lot of names still on the board that are definitely better players, in my opinion.
Draft will be done just in time for NHL 17. I have to agree. At this rate we're going right now, there's only 375 players. We should be running these things like quickly. Everyone knew it was going to be at 6. I think that was the time the owners agreed on, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the time they agreed on. It's been going a little bit faster now, which is good. If it had kept going as slowly as it did at the start, we'd have issues.
I think you're right. I missed the number 12 pick. It blew right past me here. Let me go refresh my page. I'm trying to stay up with what's going on here. There's like 85 things happening. Some people are bashing the way we're doing this and said it's a joke and stuff, and I would just have to retort by saying you don't know how much effort goes into actually putting on a live show.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to you have to be pretty organized to be able to even get something running at this level. And sure, you could add more effects, more fancy things to it, but that takes even more effort beyond the pretty large amount of effort we had to put in anyway.
A lot of effort. All right, so I think we skipped number 12 then from what I'm looking at here, and number 13.
Germany skipped their pick.
That's
Yeah, what?
fantastic. Way to go, Germany. GG's all over. So Kazakhstan picks up Decreased Goblin. Deceased Goblin. Whatever. Decreased, deceased. Everything's little. It's fine.
it's a good pick. It's a good defenseman.
Absolutely.
Always has been.
Nuge, did you break the draft too? Is that what happened?
I don't believe I broke the draft,
You didn't break the
but
draft?
I mean, if I could take credit for it.
I mean, if
I like
we're gonna
breaking
do
things.
this, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Clearly, you enjoy breaking things. I think some
Look
people
at their
thought that.
logo in the chat box.
Yeah, their logo's just a red bar. What happened?
What happened to Germany? What happened? Oh my
God.
goodness gracious. I think what happens is people think, Nuge, that you were in a dimly lit room in Vancouver, in the barnacle depths of Vancouver, sitting in a room, one lamp. The room's like 100 feet long. It's you and Rammer rubbing a bald shaved cat and going, "How can we break this game more?" That's what you were doing, right?
Yep.
That's
We
what I've
both
heard.
had our leather chairs. Had you can call them thrones if you want. We had the cats, and yeah, that's what we did. We came up with our best ideas to try to make the game as difficult to play as possible. Captain Lag was the first thing we came up with.
I think you're right. It has to be. That's the only reasonable explanation to why we're having the game that we have. It's all your fault.
Yep.
And adding Brody to the mix is only gonna have you have everything undone because Brody wants to fix the game while you want to break it.
Yeah, I mean he's more just annoying, so we'll still be able to break it. Just
That's fine.
he'll just be there being annoying.
Uwe is confirming that you were in that situation 100%. You were in that
Yeah.
room with Rammer. That's good. That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. If you want to, please make sure you're following all of us on Twitter. We are at _LeagueGaming_ because other people were more clever before we were. If you want to follow us personally, you can. I am at F5Penguin. And the other people will mention their names.
Oh, I'm at NugeTV.
No one wants to follow Leafy. That's fine, Leafy.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah.
Everyone follow Leafy if you can find Leafy's Twitter.
It's
No,
at
it's at Leafy
Leafy
TV.
Well, I mean, you didn't say it, so I wasn't going to go ahead and promote it because I didn't know how you felt about that, Leafy. Okay, jeez.
Yeah, don't promote me, please. I don't want to be promoted.
Leafy TV. So Triss is trying to fix the Germany pick. Turns out that that's not going to happen, and I think they're skipping. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Germany is attempting to take Deceased Goblin, who's been taken number 13 after their pick. I don't know if they actually wanted him or if they're just doing this to give Triss a hard time, but Triss told them pick someone else.
Oh, are we
I
not?
think.
Okay. Lord, boy, I'm just trying to read the chat box and see what happened because I don't know why the site glitched out, but clearly something went wrong here. And I think that Germany is picking Active D.
Active D on center. What a pick.
Which is nice to see him back, I will say. It's nice to see after he has single-handedly removed the VHL from the planet. We are now bringing him to the light side here, and we are having him join us on the LGIHL.
Yeah, he's played maybe 10 games this year, so it'll be interesting to see if he's worth the 12th pick on center. But he's been a good player for a while. I imagine he would be halfway decent. I know Mash is probably not thrilled. Mash wanted him to play center probably on their team, but yeah, that's a thing. Did Germany actually pick that, or
yeah,
did okay.
Germany picked it in the chat box, and then Triss added it to the lineup there. So we are moving right along after that small glitch here on LeagueGaming.com. I don't know what happened there, but we are moving right along, and we now have Shoko123 picked for Switzerland.
I've played with Shoko a few times. I actually liked him on defense. I thought he was pretty good. I think he's only played like 10 games though, so that's a downside, but not a bad pick at all.
He hasn't played much this year as far as I know, but the way he plays offense from defense, I should say, is very simple. He just puts the puck on net regardless of the situation. In previous games, it was sometimes like a waste of possession. In this game, it's a really good option, so he might actually be very good in this game.
I think you're right. I'm reading the chat boxes. I have 2 of them up and Twitter here. And so Korea made the pick. for Germany. Korea's not management.
Yep. This is impressive, truly.
I'm sure Tris will fix this, but what happened with ownership? I don't know. Like, why didn't they step in and make the pick in the chat box? I just don't know what happened there to really speak on that. I can only go with what I'm seeing in front of me and what Tris adds to the list. But I do know that Norway drafted Chivs 01.
Yep, and Sweden drafted Flash Chance. Now the Mo Wilson pick makes more sense. The number 15 pick was Flash Chance right after Shoko. They play together. Together, they might be worth the first and second round pick just because you have chemistry right off the bat. But again, if individually, I think both of those picks are a little bit of a reach.
I think you're right there. I do want to just at least comment because Big 50 said something interesting, and I enjoy having conversations about stuff while we wait for the next pick because we have 17 minutes between picks here. He said that if some other website made that screw up, they would be ridiculed mercilessly. I would only retort by saying other websites don't have the ability for an auto draft like this.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one at least, and I've made my way around.
I don't know what happened. Like, I think there is a button to forfeit a pick. I don't know what exactly happened with Germany. I don't know what the mistake was. So yeah, I'm not sure like what actually the mess up was with the draft.
I don't know what happened either. But now Tris is saying it's going to stay because they picked a guy who trolled him. Oh, man. I love Tris's dry humor and retort is always the best thing ever, I will say.
Yeah, I do hope he does fix it because I think both Active D and Germany will be more happy if they don't have him.
And you don't want to make Active D unhappy because you see what he can do.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
And you can see what he can do to websites. You don't want to have that happen on your dime.
Yeah.
Not with the new servers, especially. Now, we are 15 picks into this thing. Let's go through these 17 and 18 real quick. 17, Czech Republic gets Sloshy, and I can't. These are the people I expect to see coming up on the board at this point.
Yeah, I think Sloshy's a good pickup. Again, I don't think Bardock hasn't been picked, has he?
And Bardock went number
He
18. Canada.
just taken.
Oh, he got picked after. Yeah, those are two defensemen I would have targeted in the first couple rounds. So I'm definitely, I definitely think those are good picks.
Now we're 18 in, so
yep.
Some of the good talent of what's in the pool has been selected. I think it's time that we bring in the man that was supposed to join us for the entire show, but he has a couple of minutes here to go over some sleeper picks, and I'm talking about none other than Mr. Sleeper himself, Pylon extraordinaire, Rushpac.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Rush.
Hey, Rush.
So listen, what you guys don't know is actually Tris flied me out to the Air Canada Center to do some commentary for the draft. I'm down in the bows. What I can tell you with what happened with that Germany pick is there was two masked men that ran in, peed all over the server, and ran out. I have no idea who they were. One of them dropped a Whopper. The other one dropped an empty 40. I've secured the items. They're going to be studied by forensics experts, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of what happened.
Rush giving us the real-time reporting that we need here on the show, and I appreciate that. Do you have the sleeper picks, Rush?
I do have some sleeper picks for you.
What do we got?
Well,
I got a screaming baby in the background. I know that.
We have a couple screaming babies in the background. They're very upset about the skip Germany pick. All right, guys, listen. I'm going to give you a goaltender that I think needs to go very soon, and it's not just because that he got me into the AHL playoffs, but because I saw him play excellent during them. I want to go with Zero Choice.
I like it. That's your sleeper. So there you go, Rush. Get your.
I also I see J Money signing up for right D. I think that's interesting.
Well, no position lock, so hopefully he'll have some success.
Yeah, he could play goalie if he really felt like it.
Well, anyway, Rush, we're gonna let you go, man. I hope the kids get better, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Yes, I have to get this Whopper rapper to the police right away.
We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, guys.
Rushpac, everybody. The pylon that can be is him right there. I want to go over these picks while we were waiting to hear back from forensics on who broke the website. Oh my goodness gracious! We have I can't remember the name of the. It's Finland, right? Yeah, Finland.
Yeah.
Finland gets sup dark fades.
Fades is a goalie. He is an okay goalie. I'm not sure if another team would have taken him. I know Mash wanted him just on the team. Again, it's a fun off-season tournament.
It is. It's Funland.
Yep. And yeah, it's Funland, so you have to have fun. So
Right.
I think
Yep, that
Fades
is
for
true.
them is a good pick. I don't think anyone else would have taken him anywhere around this point, but we'll see how it works out for Finland. They have two management that are very good players, so they don't necessarily need to take the best talent available.
I agree. And then the Motherland gets CNU Marty, which, again, I see a couple of names here that I'm like, yep, this all makes sense. And then very few that I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Marty's a solid defenseman. He's going to play with AKA Shutdown D. I think they're both left defensemen, actually. So maybe they won't play together, but I think that was the goal for D-Merch's team, was to get their top D pair like squared away right away. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue with them both preferring the left side. But yeah, he's a solid defenseman, not a bad pick for the start of the second round. Or end of the second round, I should say.
Oh my goodness! The trolling and the incessant arguments about the Germany pick is still running rampant, and that is the saga of the show. I think the fact that we are going to be outraged that Germany got skipped in a 3-week season, and it questions the integrity of the website, and it questions the integrity of the draft show, and it questions the integrity of Triss as a whole person. It's serious stuff, Nuge. See what you did?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could have been handled better. I think that after Korea picked Active D, they should have been able to pick someone else that hadn't been picked already, if they really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they should have necessarily been able to pick Deceased Goblin right after Goblin got picked, because if Kazakhstan's like whole plan was, oh, we're going to pick Goblin at number 13 if he's there, and then Germany, maybe they weren't planning on picking Goblin, and then they saw someone else did, so they're like, oh, we'll pick him. Like, I feel like that's a little bit unfair to the team that picked 13th, but
let's not kid ourselves. Active D is a legend.
yeah, I mean, it's not like they got a bad player out of it, but I do understand the outrage, the temporary outrage.
The outrage of a 3-week season of
Yeah.
375 players.
I'm a big fan of how their chat box logo is still just a red bar.
Yep, it's fantastic.
Hey, 50. I'm going to call him out right now. Don't draft 50. Let him go to the minors, and let me delete all of his chat box entries. That's what's going to happen next, 50. How about that?
Yeah, we need LG chat box moderators where we can, like Twitch, you can just time them out.
I can.
All their
Watch.
stuff
Here,
disappears.
look, boop, done. I did it.
Big 50 dead.
Yeah, I just
Rest
did
in
it.
peace, Big 50. Perfect. We need more of that.
We need more of that. I can do anything I want right now. We're live on LG. We are moving right along here with the draft, and we want to thank 98 of you for watching right now. That's the most I think we've had for a live show. Russia picks up Knight 91.
Yep. Decent forward. Maybe a little bit of a reach, but we're also getting to a point where there aren't really any elite players left. Again, Denham still on the board as a forward. Not sure why. He's really good. But you're picking guys that you like want as part of your team.
Right.
Not necessarily like the skill difference between the guys left isn't huge. And then Leafy.
How about Leafy going to Funland?
Yeah, Leafy.
Mash's
Again,
D
pretty
partner.
expected. Mash's D partner.
Your
But yeah.
D partner as goalie, huh?
No position lock.
Oh,
But yeah.
no, Fades is the goalie. I'm the D partner.
Not surprised at all with that pick. Sydney, no offense, as a defenseman, maybe a bit of reach, but we know what Finland's doing. They're just trying to build a team.
Just trying to have
friends.
fun.
Yeah.
They're like the New Day before the heel turn.
Yep.
That's a wrestling joke for those that didn't get it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Just let it go. Let it pass.
This isn't Frozen. And now that you said that, I can't keep up with the chat box and the picks, and I missed the next pick there. See what you did? See what you did?
Well, I can let you know that Canada picked Taze, which I think is a very good pick for the third round. I think he's one of the forwards that is a little bit better than everyone else remaining. So that's a great pick by Canada, who is actually building a pretty good team. They have Bardock, Briere, and Taze as their 3 picks so far. So I'm definitely thinking Gala and Panda know what they're doing, even if Panda doesn't know how to pick a Game 7 lineup.
Shots fired as we get Czech Republic picking up Zombie XSP.
Yep. Definitely a reach. Let me check who.
A reach.
I don't.
You're just laying it out there, huh?
That's not a good pick.
That's not a good pick.
I haven't seen that guy play much this year. Previous years, that wouldn't have been a great pick at this point.
I'm going to soundbite that, Nuge. I'm going to take that soundbite. That's not a good pick. And I'm going to use that for the rest of my career at LG.
But yeah, again, I don't know what everyone's intentions are with this league, so I can't necessarily hate on picks. Like, Mashley picking Leafy as a defenseman, fades, those are reaches for sure. But I know what he's doing, so I don't know AJ Hendricks and Mac as well. So I don't know.
Are you trying to say right now, Nuge, that if you're not trying to take the game seriously, you go with Leafy, but if you are, you pick somebody else? I would be offended.
I'm saying I don't pick Leafy at 22 as a defenseman.
What do you pick Leafy at then, Nuge?
As a defenseman?
Well,
Yes.
I'm actually signed up as goalie, so I'm gonna just put that out there.
Oh, well, I don't know. You said you were playing defense.
I'm playing wherever MASH puts me.
'Cause
But
it's
you know,
about
if it's
having
lefty, it's
fun.
lefty. Yep, it's about having fun in Funland.
It was fun in Philadelphia until week 3. Then it wasn't fun anymore.
It was fun until I got traded.
That's true. That's true.
It was fun until he bid 10 mil on Nuge.
Denmark getting Charleston.
Norway?
Norway? That's what I meant to say. Charleston.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it. It's like one of those.
For those who don't know,
words.
his gamer tag used to be Benny El Guapo. He's a solid D-man. Again, defense isn't very deep in this draft, so I think that's a pretty solid pick. And then Saney goes at 26, which that is a good pick. I can't believe
you were expecting him to be higher up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I can't believe he fell that far. He is a good forward. He should have been picked probably early second round. He could have been the Germany pick.
Hey, Mac is talking shit about you now, Nuge. He's saying Zombie's a reach after finishing 35th in the LG with points, right? You're an idiot, Nuge. Go ahead. You retort, sir.
My retort
Yes.
is that LG points are largely irrelevant. So,
largely irrelevant.
yeah.
Havoc.
That's fair.
Havoc going to the Swiss there, from what the flag looks like.
I think that's a good pick.
I think so too.
Yeah, I like Havoc as a player. He's like good overall. Like I've seen him play like every different position pretty well.
And then I can't figure out why he fell so far, but Kazakhstan brings home Denim. I think Prime and Denim go hand in hand like mac and cheese, I think. So that works out for them.
Yeah, I think Denham's a great pick. I've said it already that I think he's probably as good of a forward as anyone that's been picked after, I guess, like number 10 even. And he a better goalie than most people too. He could play any position and be really useful. So that's a great pick.
And Frisch has said he's going to take the 10 minutes for the pick here and use up the entire 10 minutes. And they're going to try to trade Active D for Damon. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's where we are.
I think it happened already, but USA just lost a pick. I don't know what's happening.
What is going on?
USA now has an empty spot at number 11.
Oh, that's not good.
I believe they picked A1 Freak there.
Yeah, they did. That was A1 Freak.
So I'm assuming that'll get put back.
Thank God we have this on recording so we can go back at all the picks.
Yeah, and for me, it still just shows the red bar for Germany.
That's all I see too.
Yeah, it shows it in the draft
fantastic.
now too.
Makes me feel
Except
like
the symbol is there in the draft order, but then on the pick, it shows a red bar.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It feels like those movies where, you sit in the movie theater for the trailers and they show that red band trailer where you're not supposed to know, like it's a rated R, inappropriate for all ages kind of thing.
Yep.
And like red band, that's what Germany is. Germany is the red band of the LGIHL.
Yep. And the red band actually didn't take the full 10 minutes.
No, they didn't. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
So Frisch goes with Cooker 1091 as one of the forwards there.
Honestly, I haven't seen him play much this year. He used to be a very solid player, so I can't fault that pick. It's probably pretty good for this late in the draft. It's not late in terms of the whole draft, but a lot of the elite talent is gone.
So I guess we have to make an executive decision here. There are 150 picks.
Yep.
Do we do it like the NFL where after, pick 50, they're like, okay, all done, and they go home?
Maybe. Maybe not 50, but maybe after like, I don't know.
Where's
80,
our
8 rounds?
safe word? What does that feel like to you? 8 rounds? Really?
8 rounds or so, yeah. I mean, you'd be able to have 2 complete lines after 10 rounds with 2 management, but that might be a little long. So I think 5 is maybe too short.
So let's do this. Let's do it like Monopoly. You know how they do a Monopoly, since no one ever wants to play it by the real rules to make the game go fast, that they give a time limit to the game. Let's do that. Let's put a time limit on this right now and say at 7:30 we will call it quits no matter what.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah,
That's
sounds,
reasonable.
Reasonable.
Or 100 picks, whichever comes first.
Yes, I think we'll probably get to 7:30 first, but
Well, I'm trying to put some pressure on the owners here.
yeah.
I would like to say, though, that I have never played Monopoly with a timer.
So okay, let's talk about Monopoly for a minute because this is interesting to me. Because when I do radio, this is what happens. Monopoly is interesting. People don't play by the rules, so they add in stupid things like free parking that keeps you in the game, and you can do loans, and you have to go around the board once, and like all these stupid things that make the game take forever. If you play it by the rules that are in the book, and you have to buy every property, and you can't skip properties, you have to auction them, and all these things, the game can actually be finished in less than 2 hours.
Yeah, I've never actually played it by the book because I think everyone expects that if you land on a property that you don't want, you're supposed to skip it. Like, that's generally what people expect from the game, whereas people, like, the actual rules are you're supposed to then auction it off.
Yeah, and that makes it go faster.
Yeah, because then all the properties are owned by a few times around the board.
Exactly. And then the dealing is part of the game, and then no one ever wants to deal. That's such a problem. I hate that part. I want to deal and make trades and stuff, and no one ever wants to.
Yep.
Even if it benefits them, it's like, here, you can have these 2 properties to give you hotels as long as I get this one property that gives me a hotel.
Yeah, Leafy and I have actually played Monopoly. We have Monopoly on Xbox One.
Oh my God. I'll get it. Can we play?
But
We
of
can.
course. And Mash
She's a
has
cheater.
it. A bunch of. I am not a
You
cheater. I'm better
cheated
than you.
at a video
In
game
virtual
Monopoly?
Monopoly. She
Leafy.
cheated.
Okay.
There's comeback logic, and it's not a fun game.
Oh,
I will have
Nuge,
to
Nuge.
forward you the clip at 5.
You broke Monopoly too?
I did. There's ice tilt
Dice-
in Monopoly.
dice-
There's ice tilt. It's roll tilt. 'cause-
Dice tilt.
Yeah, dice tilt. Dice tilt. Oh my God.
Yeah, dice tilt in Monopoly.
Oh my god.
All
But
right, draft pick number 31. USA goes with Niglot.
Yep, after picking up McLean at number 30 as well.
Yes.
McLean is a Frenchman. He will speak French with Stiffmeister, most likely. That line would probably, that'll be a good line. I'm not worried about that line as an offensive threat. They should do well. And then Niglot is a good defenseman. Again, he might be the last of the very solid defensemen left. I see Ace is Cracked actually still on the list. He's decent, so I think he'll go off the board soon. But I think we're getting very thin on defensemen now.
Well, now you have Mafia Man being picked up by Germany, who again didn't take their full 10 minutes.
Proud of them. And he's another defenseman that okay, so when I went through the list, I didn't see very many good defensemen.
Thanks,
As they're
Nuge.
getting drafted. I'm sorry, Penguin. But as they're getting drafted, there actually does appear to be a decent amount of those first to second line LG guys. So that's a good pick. If there are many more of these defensemen, I don't know why I didn't see them. the first time it went through.
Let's just be honest. You actually saw that there were 2 defensemen that were stellar on the list.
You
right?
in Big 50?
Right.
Is that
right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
yeah.
active D, but
Yeah.
that's fine too.
Oh yeah. I mean, Active D signed up for center. That's why it's Big 50.
Right.
For sure.
Right. It makes sense now.
Oh, Big 50 signed up for center too. I need to pick another one. Is Heimbecker on D?
He's everywhere.
Heimbecker
Yeah.
is indeed on right defense, yes.
Perfect. You and Heimbecker.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need. GG's, right?
Yep.
Did Sev sign up? If Sev signed up, then that's an elite. That's definitely an above average D.
Above average D.
Yeah.
He went number 2.
Well, yes.
7. Yeah.
Yes. But
Sev is signed up on right D as well.
I didn't know Sev was playing this season. I was unaware. Then yes, there are 3 above average D men that you skipped over blatantly.
That are remaining. I forgot about them clearly.
Right.
Clearly, I just didn't even see their names because how could I forget about?
Because there's so many to look through.
Yeah, exactly.
You're an ass. Number 33 pick, Kazakhstan gets the tight Spliff. And I love playing with Spliff. I played with him in Albany, and I had a blast. That guy's got some real talent.
Yeah, he's a good player. I imagine he signed up for left wing.
Yep.
And he's a good left wing to go with Denham, Goblin, and Boney. They've had a really good draft so far.
So they're just pretty much picking their first line, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
looks
they
like it.
so they had Prime and who's Prime's GM?
Boosh.
Boosh. So they have 2 forwards to begin with. They got Goblin and Boney as their first D pair. And then if Denham's going to play net, they have their whole first line with Spliff on left wing. If Denham's not going to play net, then maybe he'll center their second line, or maybe Denham will move over to left wing on their first line, and Spliff is the start of their second line. But either way, they have a good team so far.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I played with Spliff. He was playing left wing on Winnipeg. He was a good player then. I haven't played with him much this year, but can't imagine that he's gotten worse or anything.
Pick number 34, Switzerland gets Aces Crack 17.
Yep. Good defenseman. Good pick. I would have expected him to go a little bit higher, but I also didn't realize, like I said, how many solid defensemen there were. So it's a good pick at this point. Maybe a pretty good value pick at number 34.
And now we wait for the next pick. Oh, there it goes. Look at this. We're flying now. We're flying.
Everyone. They want to get all 100 picks in.
I put pressure on them. Sweden drafts AO, and I'm okay with that.
AO Lax. Yeah, he's a solid defenseman. I don't think he's quite as good as the guys who have been picked before him. But again, if you want to grab decent defensemen, I think you're going to have to do it early. So I think that's a decent pick for Sweden.
Reading, sorry. Yes, I agree with you. I'm totally paying attention because 50's being a jerkhole in the chat box. Norway, he wants me to put him over and then gets mad when I put him over. Whatever, 50. Whatever. Let's talk about Chivs more. Chivs is amazing. Is he? I don't know. I'm making that up. Am I?
Chivs is solid. He's
Chivs
good.
is solid. Chivs is solid.
Good person, too.
Nuge
Great
says
person.
so. I haven't spoke to him too much, so I don't know. We should speak more, and then I could talk about you more. I could put over anybody I talk to. Anybody I don't talk to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't put him over. I just talk. And that's fine because everyone wants to hear me talk. That's what I'm told. Draft number 36, Norway, Blade, MTL, which you may know him from his LGFA and LGVFA days. But he also plays hockey, and he's well-versed in all of the sports.
Yeah. It seems like there's a run of defensemen happening right now. I don't know if everyone's just kind of...
And I'm still not picked.
Yeah, the big oversight by all the owners.
Big oversight.
But again, he's pretty good. I haven't seen him play much this year, but in the past he has been pretty good. And we're running out of defensemen, so if you want to get one, I think everyone's kind of like grabbing the best one left as they're trying to figure out.
Are you
the
in
rest of their
the
team.
IHL or are you in the playoffs?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm
you.
neither.
You're neither.
Yeah, I wanted to sign up on forward, but I felt like people would pick as if I was a defenseman anyway, and didn't want to be a first-round pick playing left wing, so I just didn't sign up.
I feel like that makes sense because you didn't want to ruin the integrity of the league.
Yeah,
I get it.
it's such a
I get
competitive
Nuge.
environment in the IHL. You just don't want to ruin that.
Oh my goodness. Hey, 50's not drafted yet though, so now the challenge is make sure I get drafted before 50, just to make him hurt a little bit more.
I feel like an owner needs to make that happen.
I mean, I'm saying at this point.
I feel like there's a good chance that you could go to Funland.
I hope I go to Funland. That's where I wanted to end up. Because I had fun in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
For a week until I got traded because I was the fun.
I mean, in all honesty, I had more playing time after you got traded. So I can't complain too much. Czech Republic gets Red Bomber 2134, another defenseman sign up.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. The Czech Republic is also who picked. Oh wow, Canada.
Oh
is
my
nice.
God. I can't even deal with this right
I'm
now.
angry. I'm angry. But
I think that just happened because
I
you
think
said
that's your
that.
own fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you did it to yourself.
I am chatbox banning him right now.
Big 50 or who picked you? I feel
Yes,
like it's
both of them. They need this in their life. Who is
They're all
Canada?
gone.
Panda picked him?
yeah.
Gala picked him?
Yep.
What are you guys doing right now? We were on a string of defenseman picks.
They
50
go
is
out of
not a
the way.
defenseman. That is a no fun league. You don't want to go play for Canada, Leafy, I'd request a trade. As soon as you can. Wow. Awful pick. Worst pick ever.
That's good analysis.
Man.
This is by the way, yeah, good analysis. This is one day after 50 says, "Hey, it's our 1 year Facebook anniversary. We should play hockey together." And I'm like, "Yes, we should." And we had a great time. And then he acts like this. See what happens? See what happens?
Yep.
It's a love-hate relationship. Finland drafts Paralyzer, and I like that guy. Paralyzer is a good person.
Harry
Yep.
Ziegler, actually.
He signed up for defense. I think he's actually going to play defense. Finland just doing what Finland does. And yeah, they're just picking people they're friends with. I'm kind of surprised no one was a dick and stole Perry.
It's gonna be
Because-
fun.
Yeah, I figured Perry would go earlier just because people know him from playing goalie. But yeah, Finland got him.
Finland did get him. And then Russia gets Cakes. And
Cakes was in the what?
love him or hate him, Cakes is in there.
Signed up for goalie. Probably why you didn't
Okay.
see him.
Yeah,
and then
signed up for
they
goalie.
also got Barney Rebel right after.
Barney's an okay D-man. Again, I think the quality of defenseman's falling off a little bit, but he's okay. Probably like a third line LG guy,
Yeah.
and then Finland takes active D. Wow. And
Shocker.
their other pick of Cakes, if Cakes plays skater, that's an amazing pick. As a goalie, I don't really know much about Cakes.
Now the
I
good
think
news
he's okay at it. But
Guys, I got to break in here. I have breaking news. I'm being sent in right now. Let me see if I can patch this back in. Let's see if he's here. I'm gonna connect to him right now. This is urgent news. We have an update here on the draft front after active D goes number 42. Are you there? We have a terrorism update, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on. I'm marked as busy. No, that's not what I need. We will have to come back. We do have breaking news that I will announce here momentarily. But Canada picks Soper Saiyan, and I'm okay with that.
yeah, I haven't seen him play in probably 3 years. I don't know how much he's played this year, but he was a very good player back in NHL like 12 or 13, whenever the last time I saw him play.
Yep, me too.
He's good before like 14, 15, like in LG at least. I know that. Like he's been good. I haven't really seen him play like this year, but I doubt like he's probably still good. He is signed up for right defense though, so if he intends on playing right defense, I don't know.
Yeah, he's normally a forward. I'm not sure if that's if he plans on playing forward or if he's played defense recently or what.
That's going to be the challenge too, is figuring out what players are actually going to play the position they signed up for versus what they originally played.
Yeah, and I think people aren't. That's why I was a little bit worried about it. Like if I signed up for left wing, if people would just assume like, oh, he's going to play defense. Like, I don't think people are making their choices based off of the position next to the person's name. I think they know whether they'll play a different position or not.
Well, I think it also depends on like who you are, who you're picking. Like if you're picking one of your friends, then you know that they'll play whatever. But then if you're picking just somebody random, then you might not get that flexibility.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you're right, and I think that's the challenge is deciphering that. When you don't talk to somebody, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Then you don't know. But if you have a friend and you want them to hold off, you're like, hey, sign up for goalie, and you're a good center, then you'll get him to play center.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what happened with Devin. Like, I don't think Mash went into the draft thinking, oh, I'm going to pick Devin as a goalie at number 2. I think he went in like, okay, Devin's really good. I'm friends with him. I'll pick him at number 2. He'll play forward, defense, whatever.
And if you're in Funland, it makes sense.
Yeah. They don't really care. So they're kind of ruining the integrity of this competitive atmosphere.
This is the breaking news coming in. I definitely want to touch base. We have terrorism update here with Rushpac. Jesus.
Guys, it is pandemonium at the ACC Center. As expected, the 2 assailants did return, but this time we were ready. Dank the God attempted to subdue one of them. He pulled out his trusty switchblade. Unfortunately, he tripped and fell down the stairs, stabbing himself in the hamstring.
Makes sense.
So we're going to put his play in the IRL at questionable.
Sure.
The second assailant attempted to flee through the roof. Fortunately, made of 2 faces, a.k.a. the LG Avenger, as well as Batman, were up there waiting for him.
Yeah.
That's when it got crazy, guys. The terrorist went to the ledge, pulled off his mask, and revealed himself as none other than Techno.
Wow.
Techno then jumped, threw a wad of cash in the air, and then plummeted to his death.
Well, that's the way to end that. We appreciate you bringing. We appreciate you.
Sorry, guys. Listen, buddy, I can't give you $1, man. I'm on a live remote. No, go somewhere else.
Fair enough. Well, Rush, we appreciate you weathering the storm up there for the greatest insight that this show has ever seen.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully I can get home safe.
Yeah, Godspeed, sir.
All right. Good. Take care, guys.
Well, that's Rushpac right there. Look at that. Look at that. Bring in the heat. This is what happens. How do you guys feel that Techno's dead?
Not bad.
Not bad.
I'm not torn up about that, surprisingly enough.
I'm not. I can't say that I disagree with you.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Dank the God also has a knife in his leg now.
Yeah, I mean, he was going to stab someone and just he messed up. Sometimes, like, if you don't have enough experience with stabbing people, sometimes you just get yourself, clearly.
Right, and even though some people put you in a position to be like, hey, you can go stab this guy, and you're like, yeah, I can go stab this guy, you're still not going to be able to stab the guy.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And then when you're given a second try to stab the guy, you miss even worse because you didn't have enough experience the first time to figure out that you couldn't stab the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's almost like this logic could be applied to something else.
It feels like it, but I don't know what. I just know stabbing. This is A+ quality content right here. This is amazing. Rush has made this show next level.
Yeah. The screaming, the police sirens.
This is fantastic. I mean, his kids had to go with him to the ACC. Of course they're going to be upset that there's a burger bandit and now Techno running rampant.
Yeah,
trying
and some
to destroy
guy
the league.
lying down in a staircase with a knife in his leg. Like,
I'd be
horrible.
upset. His kid was
Yeah.
born in October, guys. Like, let's have some freaking some couth here, some decorum. God damn. Draft pick number 44. Czech Republic gets pure ripping.
He's okay. I'm assuming he's playing center. He should do well with them. They've made a few questionable picks, but they took their 6 minutes to pick that guy, and they did okay. So I'm glad they took their
It's
time.
a big decision.
They did it.
Yeah.
They did it.
Where we are at the draft right now, I feel like that's a fine pick.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty solid center. Like, he's a second or third line center in LG, and we're in the off-season tournament with only 375 signups. Like, and half the guys are still in the playoffs or whatever.
So then who's left, Nuge, for you that you would say is needing to be picked up before pick 50?
Before pick 50,
You got 5 picks left.
AJ9191 is someone I would say should be picked up. Just scrolling through, looking for names. If teams need goalies are always weird, but if a team needs a goalie cancer is not bad. Flowmaster Joe needs to go ASAP. And yeah, I mean, there aren't many like guys who are head and shoulders above the rest out of the remaining guys. Maybe Jack Dupe. But yeah.
So I'm just hoping
and Ozzy. Ozzy needs to go
right, of course,
right now. Yeah.
His rating goes up because he can jump.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Makes
it
sense.
makes perfect sense.
I will say that I hope that the rest of the draft picks, since we're going 50 more picks here, that we don't just say that's a good pick, that's okay, that's fine. Like I just hope that we can put things in perspective here and look that hey, there's only you only mentioned a handful of guys that you hold in that regard. That in perspective, these are good picks.
Yeah. I mean, like if AJ gets picked now, he's a guy that I think is definitely deserving of probably getting picked a little bit earlier. It's a great pick. Whereas if he got picked 2 rounds ago, I think it would have been okay.
Or like Norway getting AT43 at pick number 45.
Yeah, I think Tanaka is not as good as he used to be. So I don't think that's a great pick, especially with guys like AJ still on the board at the same position. Norway's owner is... I need to figure that out really quickly so I can
Get with
figure
the
out
program.
if there's some sort of connection to
it's the
Tanaka.
answer in JBT.
Okay, I don't know if there's a connection to Tanaka there, but I think that was a little bit too early for him.
Well, it's like you're Miss Cleo here. You're predicting the future. Pick number 46, Sweden gets Jack Dupe, and 47, Switzerland gets AJ9191.
Yeah, I'm basically drafting for these teams at this point.
Yep.
Both of those are good picks.
If you're going to
I've
break the
said.
game, you're going to help the game. I understand.
Yeah, as I said 2 seconds ago, those are both great picks for the position in the draft. Both could have probably been second rounders, and I wouldn't have questioned it. And they're going in the 5th round. So definitely good picks for both of those teams.
So basically, who's your next pick, Nuge?
Oh, I need to go through the list again and figure it out.
You have to pick your next pick. You're picking all the teams now.
Oh, okay, my next pick?
Yeah, just pick one. It doesn't matter at this point. They
I'm
pick
gonna go
who
with
you say.
MN Webby. MN Webby as a goalie. It's my next pick.
Good pick. Pick 50, it would be fitting that F5 Penguin would get pick 50, right? Because
Well, see, it would be fitting, but I'd feel so bad for you because your owner is currently in the hospital nursing a stabbed leg.
oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I might have to wait until pick 59. That would be good.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
better.
59.
55?
You might have some fun.
I don't know flags. 50.
59 is Finland.
Yeah,
59.
59.
That's where I'm at. I know what I'm saying. And Rush is reporting it in the chat box. He's okay, so Godspeed to Rush. I'm glad. I was worried for a second, honestly.
It's a pretty chaotic scene.
It was.
He made it home already? I'm impressed.
Yeah, well, the exchange rate for speed, Nuge.
In Canada, yeah.
Right.
I get it.
It's faster
Distance.
coming back this way
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
than it is that way.
You got like the jet stream behind you. It
Right.
makes sense.
Get with it. Come on. Obviously. Kazakhstan gets Torts 93, and
Okay.
Germany picks up Hopkins XX.
As their goalie, that pick is the least surprising thing of all time.
Yes, I would agree.
Fritcha, Hopkins. Fritcha got banned once due to Hopkins, so
It all goes
makes
back
sense.
together.
And Torts, I don't know much about him. Defenseman. I think he played in the NHL this season. I'm not actually sure of that. I don't really know anything about him. I don't know if Sydney has any insight onto him.
No, I don't know that I've seen that name before, honestly. But I'm sure that they know something about him. If
Yeah.
they picked them this early, I mean, that's Prime and Boosh, so
Yeah,
sure
they know what
got
they're
some
doing.
good insight on them. Yeah.
Oh, man. And then USA here picks up Mr. Ped. And then USA also picks up KB Smith. Now, I'm pretty impressed here that Dank is able to make these picks under clear mind, considering what just happened.
Yeah, it looks like his decision-making was not hurt too badly because Mr. Ped goes right along with McLean and Stiffmeister. That will be a good line. And then KB Smith isn't a bad defenseman at all. So, yeah, getting stabbed in the leg by himself did not affect him too much.
And then moving right along here, we have Germany picking up Naslin X19. And that's, again, another pick that you look at the list and you move up and you say, I expected you to go maybe a little bit higher considering the draft pool.
Yeah. I also might have expected him to go to wherever either Korea actually did go to Germany now that I think about it. So
Makes sense.
that makes absolutely perfect sense. I would have thought he would go with either Korea or JUL. So I figured one of those teams would have made that pick earlier.
Oh, I love that we are we have created an entire world of fact here in the LG chat box. We want to thank you guys for watching for this long so far here. J Money is going right along with the stab wounds from Dank the God, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Making picks on pure adrenaline. That makes sense.
Yes. I should mention my tab here that is up on the screen for everybody is automatically refreshing every 1 minute, I think, or 2 minutes. It's whatever Tris programmed. So that's good. Kazakhstan picks up Quiet Fawn, and that is not Prime and him going together is not surprising, but not surprising.
And for those of you who don't know, that's Holdma DDD, right?
Yeah, that's him.
The fact that you just said that, I think, brings a smile to many faces.
He's decent. What's he playing? Or what does it say
He signed up as right D.
Yeah, with the defensemen that are left, that's a really good choice, I think. I think Kazakhstan already has a few D-men, though, so I don't know if maybe they should have targeted a forward or a goalie there, but not a bad pick.
And then Class Act 27, left wing, Switzerland. So we're back to...
Okay, so if we're playing on PlayStation, he's apparently a freak over there. That's someone...
On the sticks even, would you say?
A freak on the sticks, yeah. On PlayStation, he's very widely regarded as a very good player. For me, what I've seen on Xbox over the past few years, I haven't seen that. I haven't thought he's been like a great player. But even at 54, that's a good pick from the Xbox perspective. If he was on PlayStation, he probably would have been in the first round in this type of a format, though.
That's a good point. I want to make sure the chat boxes know I'm paying attention. Rahanik, hi. We should play more hockey together. Rahanik does this amazing thing, and before I go into the next pick here, craziest thing ever, playing sixes with him one time. First time ever was a couple days ago. And he's got like all the space in the world, and he stops, and everyone skates right past him. And he's got this wide open slot. And he did it like 4 or 5 times in a drop in, and it was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, like, drop in.
Well, it was not the drop in. What do you call it? ESHL matchup, right? It's not an LG game.
Yeah.
I consider all of those drop ins at this point because it's impossible to find sixes. He just stops, and like everyone moves away. And I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He did it 4 or 5 times before they finally caught on and dove. It was great. It was great. So, hi, Rahanik. That's a story for you. Number 55, we have, I know this country because it's in front of me. Hold on. I got this. I'm a professional. Sweden picks up the last recluse.
Yeah. So that's Plemy. I haven't actually seen him play this year at all. I know he's an owner, or was an owner. I guess I don't know if he's coming back. But he's a solid player, used to be a very solid player, and I'm not surprised he went like at this point. I think he could have gone even earlier. I think he's better than a few of the defensemen that went before him, but you have Dank the God, who picked up 2 D-men on pure adrenaline. Maybe he didn't think about it, so makes sense.
Nuge, Danny Prime is saying that, and that's Prime, by the way, says that that's a different class act that you were referencing.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. I'll just say that.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Thought it was the same guy.
It's a different guy. The more you know. I want to say hi to Gala for being a jerk and drafting 50. Thanks for doing that. Pretty terrible person there. And again, I want to make sure you're doing a lot of things here, like subscribing to us. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, we ask that you do. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of next season, and there's a wonderful prize in it if you can actually do that. And then make sure you're following us on Twitter. It's @_LeagueGaming_, which hopefully will change soon once I can fight Twitter. That's happening, and please make sure you follow us there as well. And follow us on all the social medias. I'm on Twitter as well @F5Penguin. And we got NugeTV over there @NugeTV. And if you want to follow Leafy, then you can. Done. Make sure you do that. I don't know if you're going to be upset by mentioning your Twitter again, so I chose not to yet again.
Yep,
Sydney
thank you
just-
for refraining from doing that.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you.
She's not about the promotion.
Not about the promotion. Yet here she is with... I took her logo on the stream. I don't know if you guys are watching. And I put it dead center. Because I didn't have a place to put it on the banner. So it's like...
Oh, so it's just there.
It's just Leafy TV.
Yeah.
Just bam. Right there.
Very subtle.
Above all of us.
Very subtle for
on the
sure.
stream. It's fantastic. So I figured there was no other option but to do that. And I only delete 50's messages, just for reference. I don't know if you guys knew this. I only will delete 50's messages, nobody else's. So you can kind of say whatever you want. I just have, 50 and I are a heel face program that we're working here. And he just did a heel turn and double crossed me. So, that's where we're at. Fun fact. Keeping the kayfabe in the chat box. Got to do it.
We are currently 5 minutes into Norway's picking time. They are making sure we don't get through 100 picks, I think, is their goal.
Pretty terrible people.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And then also, if you are interested, B Major will be looking into the, hang on one second, playoff predictions for the CHL for the next round upcoming here. And he will be doing that on our live YouTube channel momentarily. So once we're done here, you can flip over to him and listen to what he's got to say for the CHL. And hopefully some owners will take notice of a couple of great players in the CHL right now that are going to be up in the AHL next season and possibly the NHL if they get drafted. So I'm excited for the future of the league in its entirety, just considering the fact that we have some really good talent down there that needs to move up. I don't know if you caught any of the games. I've been watching more so the CHL games than the others.
I haven't been able to watch the CHL games, but I do know a fair few people that are currently in the CHL that will be moving up. And yeah, there's some talent down there that could easily be in the NHL.
And it's just nice to see the league grow the way it's intended to.
Yeah, I mean, people get frustrated when they have to start in the CHL where they're like, oh, I think I'm better than that. I don't want to waste my time, whatever. There's enough people that think and know that they're better than the CHL that get stuck in the CHL every season that you can easily have you can have a good group of people on a CHL team. There's going to be a few teams that kind of tank because they don't get any of those guys. They don't bid on any of those guys. Don't get randomly signed any of those guys.
Right.
But for the most part, if you're a good player, you're going to gravitate towards other good players in the CHL and you'll have a good time.
Definitely. And I also have one official police statement here about the incident at the ACC. I'll read this to you guys. Just got off the presses right now. Police believe that the suspect was none other than it's Zach here, who will not be committing any more crimes as it's his bedtime. So that's good.
That is great to know.
Just
I'm
got
glad,
that in. Just
glad
got
that
that
we're
in.
in the clear now that he is tucked in
He's
and in bed.
he's got his baba and he's ready for nap and he'll be okay. Norway picks up Williams, and again, some of these people that you look at and you're like,
Hold on, I need to just an aside.
Go ahead.
You take 8 minutes to make your pick, and you pick Williams. What are you doing?
do you mean you're not happy with this pick? I think it's a great pick.
Need I remind you, Norway, that
It's
F5
not that
Penguin's still
bad.
on the board?
It's not that bad of a pick. He's a decent player for sure. Just not 8 minutes worth of thinking. Decent.
I would agree. Oh my goodness gracious! So Williams goes to Norway, which is surprising. I thought he was going to stay with the Funnadelphians and move to Funland.
I think Philadelphia just had too many people they needed, and they didn't pick up Williams soon enough. I think they would have gone for him.
Yeah. And now we got two quick picks here, thank God. Czech Republic picks up John 27, and the Canadians draft Fins up 786.
John, I believe, is a Frenchie that is pretty good at the game. I haven't seen him play much, but Sydney, if you have any insight on him,
He was in the AHL like a few seasons ago, 14, and then NHL 15. I know that he was good then. I've seen him play club a couple of times this year, and he wasn't bad. So if I'm for pick number 57, I'd say that's a good pick. And Fins up, I haven't seen play at all, so I don't know.
I know he's a goalie, so he signed up in the right position. I think there's better goalies, so I question that pick. But I don't know. Maybe he's friends with the guys on Canada. I'm not sure. I think he might be friends with Gala.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I think you're right there. Or it might be Gala. I don't remember. I know that there's an association there. I just don't know. I can't connect the dots. I'm
Yeah.
bad at that movie game where you have to play 6 degrees of separation. Where you got to be like, get from like Robert Downey Jr. to Anna Faris in 6 degrees. I'm terrible. I can't do these things.
Can't connect the movies.
So bad. I'm like, this guy played this guy in this movie. You know that guy with that guy?
Yeah.
And they're like, that doesn't count. I'm like, but it does. It's that guy, right? No.
That guy played that other guy.
Yeah, in that movie.
You just don't know the actor's name.
In that one movie with that one person?
I would give that to you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We should play Monopoly.
Yeah, you want Boardwalk? $10.
You can have Boardwalk.
Yeah.
10 real dollars.
Yeah, well, of course. Monopoly money is fake. I don't need that.
Because you don't pay for
Big
it.
50 has a good point. He's literally 20 picks better than Williams.
How do you feel about that? How does Williams feel about that? Let's talk about that for a second.
I don't know. That just doesn't seem... I don't know. I feel like Williams, there's no way he can come back from that.
No, you know what I can't come back from? Right now, a travesty has just occurred here in the LG chat box, and I want to make sure I take this time to put Mashley on blast for being the worst picker ever in the history of ever. Finland drafts Lord Finesse at pick number 59, which is clearly a travesty.
Because they didn't pick you, of course.
I didn't say that. You said that. Why did you say that?
Because you are still on the board at pick number 59, which is
Right.
just crazy.
Right.
And
Absolutely
he picked Lord
insane.
Finesse over you.
And then the Motherland has their 2 back-to-back picks, and they go with Big League Bala and J Rules, which I'm okay with J Rules.
Those are actually both really good picks.
Yeah.
For this late, like J Rules may not be very good, but he is easily good enough for a third or second line in LG. And a lot of the guys that have been picked in the last 30 or so picks fall in that range, or maybe even worse. So I think he's a good pick. And Big League Bala, normally a forward, but a solid player that I think will do well.
You know, any team that doesn't have a combination of Nuge and Penguin doesn't do very well, from what I hear.
Yeah, that is true.
This
Because
is confirmed.
we were great in Philly the first week. I think we were maybe even above 500.
We were above 500 the first week.
And then for some reason, I can't imagine why, I was dealt elsewhere, and it just went downhill for Philly.
It kind of went downhill for you too, though. You kind of got bumped around a bit there.
So Vancouver was an interesting time for me. I won one whole game in my Vancouver experience. Then I physically traveled to Vancouver.
How'd that go?
While on virtual Vancouver.
That's
That was a good time. Yeah. So I put myself on IR, and because apparently going 4,000 miles away doesn't qualify as a valid reason for going on IR, Nikki W attempted to ban me.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, but I was literally in Vancouver with Brody, which, I mean, he kind of runs the league, so I think he figured it's probably a valid reason to be on IR.
By seeing you in person.
In person in Vancouver.
Not home with an Xbox.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, you had access to Xboxes there the whole time.
In theory.
Not in theory. This is factual, right? Like, there were Xboxes
Well,
at the ready.
there were Xboxes there, but we also left. I guess time change. In theory, I could have played while we were also discussing other things, but I felt like it would have been in poor taste to waste time playing LG games when I was supposed to be helping make the game. Breaking the game, yeah. It would have taken away from my time petting the cat and sitting in the chair.
Right.
Yeah.
You would have helped too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that would have been bad.
I got it. This makes sense.
So then he ended up waiving me even. He waived me. Again, while I was in Vancouver, I was sitting next to Brody, and I get a notification on my phone, and I showed him, and he started laughing.
It's amazing.
And then, yeah, so I ended up getting picked up by someone, then traded like 3 times, and got to Dallas,
Perfect.
where Panda spent the 10 million of his salary cap on me to bench me in Game 7.
That's good.
So
You had a fun time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I will say, when I went on IR to go to Vegas, the Philadelphians did not do anything of the nature. I was allowed to just be on IR, so that's good.
They didn't question your motives of going on IR?
No, and when I was on TV for 9 of the 40 hours of our live broadcast all week, they didn't say anything contrary because they looked on the website and were like, "Oh yeah, you're on TV." Okay.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, I was lucky that the commissioner happened to be where I was. Otherwise, I think I was done for.
yeah, I literally didn't have an Xbox nearby.
Yeah.
There were no Xboxes.
You had no way of playing. I could have played. Honestly, I should be banned at this point.
You should be, because you had 17 Xboxes to pick from.
There were so many.
So many Xboxes. Speaking of Xbox, we're talking about picks here as we have 10 minutes left in our coverage here on LeagueGaming.com's LGIHL Draft Night. Drew 13BTV goes to Funland.
Funland, yep.
And another travesty has occurred. Another baby dies.
I'm gonna have to argue that one. Drew 13 BTV is a good person.
I
and
agree.
can't-
Great person.
He is
get mad about
officially the first Drew of LG. He is Drew number 1. Sorry to any other Drews that think they are the most important Drew on LG. You are not.
I would agree.
And that's actually a really good pick. I don't know if Philly decided to flip a switch and start picking the best available player, or if that just happened to fall in line with their fun plans.
There's a mix between having fun and winning games. Winning games is also fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a very good point. Maybe they have their fun line, and now they're working on another line to win them games.
If you hybrid it, though, if you actually do a combination of both fun and winning, do you come out above 500?
I think so, and that's why we were 5-4 at the end of week 1.
I think you're right. I think this is accurate.
It's true.
Yeah, so I think that's a really good pick of Drew.
This just in, right before Rush left the ACC, he opened up a mini bar tab at the ACC, and Nuge will be paying dimes for that, he says.
I don't believe I've ever paid a dime before, and I don't plan on starting now. So.
I mean, I don't know how the bills work up there. I think, well, you don't have to because U.S. dollars, right? It's less.
Yeah, I think like whatever he drinks will probably be covered by a singular dime.
Right, one whole dime.
Yeah, one American dime is probably worth at least 1,000 Canadian dollars.
Which you can spare. That's easy.
Yeah, I can spare one dime, just not multiple.
Right. Let's talk about these picks here before we wrap up for tonight here. We have Danny, I can never pronounce the name, but everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
Danier Tartable, going to Canada.
Yeah. I think he's playing forward, right? They're signed up for.
Yep.
He's good. I was surprised that guys like Drew and him are still available at this point, with guys like Williams being taken earlier. So yeah, I think those are good picks.
And then we have Czech Republic getting good guy Gabe. Who is a good guy?
I imagine he's a good guy.
I mean, it says so. It says
so. Unless he's a liar. So he's either a liar or a good guy.
Lie guy Gabe.
And if you're lying, you're probably not a good guy. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
then I don't know Ravaqz.
Ravix.
Really? Both of you knew that? Really?
Yeah.
Really? We both knew that.
Okay.
He was good in 15. He was good last year. I haven't seen much of him this year. And based on how he played last year, I don't think his game would translate well. But at 65, I imagine they know more about him than I do for this year. It's probably a good pick. I don't know for sure, though.
And then Sweden picks up Loops 19 at signed up right wing.
Lupul, yeah, I think he plays right wing normally. He's solid, and I think that's Hobo's team, right?
Yep, and
yeah, so he
Clint
fits in
says
well
it's
there.
the Loop and Dupe connection.
Lupul and Jack Dupe. That is actually a good chemistry pickup.
I like that. That should be a coined term in LG officially.
Loop and dupe. It's
Reunited
pretty
at
good.
last, he says. I'm on board with that. Switzerland picks up, I think, the most clever name of the draft so far, Dutch Gretzky.
Dutch Gretzky. I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I'm okay with that.
Great pick.
Great name.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
That does not deserve your soundbite of that's not a good pick.
I just don't know who it is, so I can't. It's apparently 13-4 in something. Maybe last LGIHL. He's clearly an IHL player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only plays
This
IHL.
is
Well, no, he
Super
plays in
not.
LG, but he didn't have a successful season. I think in IHL, Wait, is that Super not?
Yeah, that is super not. I just
Oh.
checked his
Why do you
profile.
keep changing your tag, dude? Awful pick. Bad player.
That's not a good pick. We've changed our mind. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do up to pick 71 here. We're going to let Dank the God continue to stab himself in the leg and pick 2 more, and that's going to be our coverage for the show. So, I'll be crying in the corner. I'll be putting my kids to bed first is what I'll do. And then I'll sit here and rock in the corner with the lights off while playing Dido over and over again. And just cutting my wrists while no one picks me.
You could still make it at pick
There's
142.
Save,
well, no, there's
save
still
your
4
patronism.
picks left. There's still 4 picks left before this coverage ends. I think you have to get picked.
To be fair, Dank can't stand me. Frisch is still mad at me from what I thought I knew from E3 a couple years ago. And, Prime could take me in the next pick. That could be what happens.
That needs to be a pick right now.
Prime needs to pick me up or I die. I die. That's what happens. I die. This is good. You guys got picked. I feel terrible. I just talk on the mic. They're like, Penguin.
I didn't get picked.
Penguin. Well, I mean,
I didn't sign up.
You got picked in spirit. Let's not kid ourselves here.
I do have a message saying I would have been picked first overall.
See that?
Yeah, but I didn't sign up. I didn't get picked. We're both undrafted.
I don't know how I feel about that, though. You're actively undrafted.
I chose to be undrafted.
Voluntarily
Yeah.
undrafted.
I am involuntarily undrafted. I mean, I know why. I totally get it. That's not the point, though. Not the point.
I think people are just worried that they don't want the media coverage coming to their team.
Stop it. What media do? I step up and do these shows only. That's all I do. As a director, I'm a humongous piece of shit because I don't actually do media. From what some people say.
Yeah, I've heard from some people that you actually don't do anything.
I've
heard that.
Anything
at all.
And then I would pull up the conversation with Bryson that spanned 6 days of setting everything up he needed to do the live Game of the Week shows.
Yep.
But I don't do anything.
Nothing.
No,
Not a
nothing.
freaking thing. So no media coverage would happen. Trust me, it's okay. It's okay.
I want to
You're
read
right.
this comforting comment in the YouTube chat from Williams. Penguin, you can come listen to Jewel and Matchbox 20 with me.
Perfect. I'm on board. But at least he got picked. I mean, what's the translation, though? What does that sound like in Russian is the question. This is good. This is good coverage. Do you want to mention real quick anything about the Pro Series before we head out of here, Nuge?
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's interested in watching competitive ESHL, not saying the LGIHL isn't at the peak of competitive play, but if anyone is interested in that, you can check out streams around 10, 11, or midnight every night. Twitch.tv/NugeTV, Twitch.tv/RahanicyT. Sydney, I think you've streamed a few. Twitch.tv/LeafyTV. And there's a lot more that I'll be tweeting out. So if you follow me at NugeTV on Twitter, you can see the streams that I tweet out for Pro Series.
And as you saw, Nuge, because we're talking about Pro Series and we're talking about streaming on Twitch. And as you know that I do a lot behind the scenes for the league, so much so that I took my time for work in Vegas to include LG into something big that should be announced here at the end of the month for Twitch and for LG and for streaming.
Yep, I do know about that.
You do know, and it's huge.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I am too, and that means more viewers for Pro Series, more viewers for IHL, more viewers for LG in general, so I'm super excited. Kazakhstan picks up not F5 Penguin. That's a bad pick. Moving on. And then Germany picks up Krunksy, not a Penguin pick. That's also bad. No, I pooped it is with Prime, and I totally am okay with that because he's a great player. Oh, when I played with him, was a great player.
Yeah, I was expecting him to go earlier. I've mentioned his name a long time ago, actually. I think I was mentioning his name just in reference to I think he was better than someone else that got picked. So I don't think he should have gone like in the second round or whenever I mentioned him.
Right.
But for the sixth round, end of the sixth round or whatever, seventh round, that's a great pick.
And then Kronksy goes to Germany, which I think
As
that
expected.
That kind of just
No
made
surprise.
sense.
I am shocked they didn't pick him earlier. Like if I was another team, I would have just taken him out of spite.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's good for that spot, for that team. That's a great pick for them.
And then Matthias goes to USA. Dank making some very sound and logical choices while being under anesthesia.
Yeah, I think it's almost like he might have given access to his GM while he's in the hospital.
It would have to be.
Because
It's the only logical explanation.
yeah, it's a good pick by Dank the God. Like it has to be his GM.
Yep. There's no other
Either
option.
that or his hamstring injury actually was a positive thing.
Made him reevaluate his life choices, and
Yeah.
he now understands the world.
And we await the last pick of our coverage here on LeagueGaming.com. I want to thank you guys for sticking with us for the hour and a half that we've done this. We appreciate that for sure. And I want to thank Leafy for stepping up last minute because that was huge.
No problem.
It is a huge problem, and we appreciate your time. We should do this more often, Sid. We should.
I'm always around to do these kinds of things.
Are you?
I am.
All right. We'll make that a reality. And Nuge, thanks, man. I know you're busy working on making the game as unplayable as possible. So
Yeah, I took some time away from making sure you had as much possible captain delay as I could make it to have this show happen. So if you played a game in the last hour and a half or so, you may have actually had no issues.
well, you're sitting there with a button over the server. Hitting.
Yeah, I just haven't had time to hit the button in the last hour and a half.
You've been a little bit busy. So every game has
Yeah.
been flawless for 90 minutes.
Yeah, we should have probably just fit in every LG game for the entire season, the last 90 minutes.
Oh my goodness gracious! I love that most people like really thought that you had something to do with the game. I love that you have allowed me to make it into a joke with you, and thank you for that.
Oh yeah, I would rather do this than have people assume that there was actually zero input, because there was input, but obviously people think it was a little bit more than it actually was.
Elite Hydroponics is the last pick for our coverage here of 71. We got 150 picks total, so halfway there. And Germany picked up B. Jack's son.
Yep.
So
Right
good
before
picks
the
there all
coverage
around, and right before we cut off here. So that will do it for us here on LeagueGaming.com. LGIHL Draft Night is in the books. I'm excited to at least have some sixes in the offseason. I think it helps the time pass for those who aren't owners and aren't GMs and aren't trying to put their affairs in order at that level. So I think that just keeps people on the website. And if we're streaming games, now we can with current gen technology, that should keep people more engaged, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's a 3-week period that is rather dead on the website.
Yeah.
We do now have like the LG PS4 League, we have Pro Series, we have the FIFA League coming back. So there's more stuff, but still the main thing is the Xbox LG League. And with that being in the playoffs, there's only 8 teams left now. Next week there'll be 4.
Yeah.
You're down to a very small percentage of the user base still actually being active on the site, where this allows the 400 or so people that signed up, and more will obviously sign up after the season's actually going, after the draft.
Right, and we have other leagues too, which also helps that along, so that's good. And Pro
Yeah.
Series, which is super helpful to the league in general,
Yeah.
or to the site in general. I always mix those
And,
two words up.
The LGIHL playoffs are coming up soon as well. So I think it's good that a lot of the things are going on like at different times. So there's always something happening on League Gaming.
Exactly. The site continues to grow and innovate, and it can't be without the help of the community. So I want to thank everybody for watching, everybody for participating. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, like us, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And on behalf of the entire site staff, Tris, Ozzy, and Brody, the entire league staff, and on behalf of Rushpac, Mashley, Leafy, and NugeTV, I'm F5 Penguin, Media Director at LeagueGaming.com, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.